Hey guys, it's Marni. Buying a car is a not so fun experience for most people, and it doesn't have to be. At TrueCar.com, they'll help you get rid of the fear that you may overpay. You know when you'll get a fair price because they show you what others paid for the car you're looking for. TrueCar.com analyzes what people are paying for their cars in their market and shares it with consumers so that they never have to overpay. Over 40,000 cars were sold by TrueCar certified dealers just last month. Users see an average savings of $3,046 off MSRP. TrueCar certified dealers go through a certification process, and you work directly with a TrueCar representative that will honor your savings. TrueCar certified dealers believe that truth and transparency are essentials to a better buying experience. First, go to TrueCar.com and find out what others pay for the same vehicle in your market and around the country. Second, register at TrueCar.com to see upfront pricing information and lock in your savings certificate. And the third step is simple. Just print out your certificate and take it to the TrueCar certified dealer for a better hassle-free buying experience. TrueCar has the most comprehensive new car pricing information available and a certified network of dealers that offers a hassle-free car buying experience and negotiation-free guaranteed savings. Support the Ask Women podcast and shop at TrueCar.com.
PodcastOne.com presents the Ask Women podcast. A place where two comics and a professional wing girl get together to dissect the female mind.
You don't know how I feel.
And explain it to men in terms they can actually understand. Boobs. Now, here's the lovely ladies of Ask Women.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ask Women podcast where you get real advice straight from the source. I'm Kristen Carney, comedian, actor extraordinaire, and we're here, of course, with Marni Kinrys, best-selling author, owner of Wing Girl Method, and we're here also with someone who came on the show before, and we're so thrilled to have him back. It's Jeremy Razumna from Fits in the Tantrums. Did I say that right?
Correctly. Nobody ever gets it. It's so great.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, you've been on tour. You're like pausing for 10 days, so you came to join us, which is awesome.
Yes.
And
it's my first stop.
yeah,
I love it.
I'm so
First up,
excited.
after the tour, the Ask Women podcast, we're getting pretty fucking cool.
Or your band is actually just doing horribly.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
He's like, he'll take any audience he can right now.
Oh, wait, it's
Let's get
Ask
these people.
Women?
Ask Women,
With a
not
K.
Ass Women.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on?
Someone said Ask Women last time.
Who said Ass Women? It should be Ass Women, although we have no asses.
No.
I have a little one, though.
It's supposed to be...
What's happening?
We have a ghost.
Breaking down.
Yeah.
Equipment.
I'm going to put my
malfunction.
water there, right next to the board, which is probably the worst idea ever. All right, now we are all good.
Very good.
All good.
Before we get started, we have Miss D coming in, who I've
Yes.
seen the email exchanges with. She's Damona Hoffman, and she's host of Dates and Mates on UBN Radio. I'm so...
What's going on right now? Are pens going out the door?
UBNradio.com.
I'm leaving.
Is where you can find
Seriously,
the
the show is falling apart right now, Jeremy.
I know.
This is not a good stop for you.
God. It's
You're
horrible.
not going to impress Teresa out there.
Oh, this is Teresa. This is the woman, the lady.
Okay. So you said you have experience with the online dating. However, we have a woman that you've known on and off for 8 years that you're
Yes.
back with, right? Are you...
Yeah, well, yes.
So the online dating didn't work.
Could you hear this right
in
now?
person?
No,
really
she
worked.
can't hear anything. Blah, she can't hear a thing. See?
God. No, I'm just kidding.
So tell us about online.
what are we
Did you
going
meet
for
her
online?
online?
Well,
No.
so basically, I'm saying like you did a lot of online dating, but you come back to the person that you knew.
Yes. You
But
come
did
back
you
to
meet
what
her
know.
online?
No.
No.
We met in the old school way. We
Which
met
is
at a party.
what? Ooh,
Meeting
at a party.
It was a
Face.
friend's birthday party, and I don't know if it's appropriate to tell you, but our first conversation was pretty funny.
What'd you talk about?
We both talked about...
She can't hear you.
She can't hear you.
we both talked about shit
Oh,
anxiety.
you know what?
That's amazing.
No, that is amazing. Another friend of mine, was she on our podcast, Jill? I don't know. What she was talking about, oh no, I did another show with her, where she was talking about her first meeting with her husband, where they talked about diarrhea. And she like fell in love with him because they could talk about that and he was being
because
so
you can
funny
tell,
about it.
Exactly, and we all have the same problem.
I'm so in
We
the
do.
same. I am so in the same school of thought. But my boyfriend, we've been together for a long time. People like know that who listen. But for the longest time, we've been together for 6 years. Up until about 6 months ago, he could not talk about poop.
Couldn't
Really?
talk about it.
And it's always
I
been
would
a
think you guys
major
would talk about
disconnect.
poop.
No, he has this thing that
Really?
like women don't poop. And the only reason we're actually recognizing it is because I poop all the time. No, it's
No, there's a
because
name
we
for
got a
that.
dog, and like he's now having to say the word like he pooped, so we know that
Wait, you mean
like
he
that it's
couldn't
okay.
say the word poop?
no, he just didn't want to like recognize that it even happens.
That it
And
exists.
For anybody, even for like others?
even for him, like
Really?
I never knew when he was in the bathroom pooping. It was always like this very mysterious thing. Like when does
What do you mean you never knew? Like he wouldn't go when you were around?
Right. I'm like,
Wait,
either his
what?
anus is just completely packed with a lot of stuff, or
Right,
he's doing
right.
it when I'm completely unaware.
Or he's doing
I
it
don't know.
right in front of you and you just don't know. 'cause he has
Did
to
he
type.
wake
I
up really
know.
early to go to work and then poop
Well,
there?
yeah, he wakes up really early, but I think he like has the routine of doing it early.
Oh,
Well, that's why at my
gotcha.
place...
they live with each other, though. How do you not poop?
You know what? My place has 2 bathrooms, and I remember when I was having it painted once, and they were like, you know, if you want, we could make this fan a lot quieter. And I was
Like, turn it
"No,
up."
Let's make it louder.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need to hear anything.
Well, that's actually a thing that I've always thought is that every single bathroom, public bathroom, even home bathrooms, should have music constantly
They
playing.
Should. I hate when I'm in a public washroom and I'm hearing noises from
Right.
another stall. I think it's
You know,
disgusting.
okay, you know what I do? It's getting really personal.
Yeah.
I like wait
now
until
we're talking about poop.
I wait until there's like a moment in the stall when there's like a big noise, like a flush or a door or a faucet, and I take that opportunity and I go with it. And then
This
I'm
is the Ass Woman
Oh, yeah, you have to hide.
podcast. I
You have
love
to
it.
hide behind ambient noise.
Oh,
You do.
for sure.
Yeah.
Someone else coughs, you're like...
yep, yeah. And then I'm like, yes, perfect timing.
Fun. I think I've talked about it on this show how, like, when I first started dating my husband, I would wake up super early to race out of the home to go to the bathroom. But I'm very surprised that 6 years into your relationship, your boyfriend is still doing that.
Well, I always talk about it, and he's just like,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you should be able to talk about anything.
Well, now we do, and it's weird because we talk about everything, and that was the one thing that I would talk about it,
Right.
And he'd be like, "All right, I'll pretend it all."
I love that this dog has brought you closer together.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is it? A cute one.
He's a cute one.
Yeah.
He's a fox terrier, rat terrier mix, I think, with some chihuahua.
Rat terrier? There's an
Yeah.
actual dog named a rat?
Yeah, and it doesn't sound very appealing,
Right.
but it's only because they use these dogs to
Go after rats.
Go after rats.
Oh,
but they
your
have
dog's so
huge-
cute. You sent a picture. I sent you my baby. You sent me yours.
Right. Mine's much more important.
Yeah,
just so you know.
exactly, exactly. No, very, very cute. All right, but I want to hear about. Sorry that I'm doing like a quick segue.
No.
No,
Saying
perfect.
shut up about poop. But I want to hear about
poo to
dating
love.
online because I want to tell you a story. So you know how I have my au pair. I just sound fancy and say au pair, even though it's not really fancy. But she has been introduced to the world of Tinder and freaking loving it. She went on a date last night. She's been going on lots of dates. But she was showing me some of the things that guys were writing to her, and
I
they
mean,
were.
I can
It's
just
horrible.
guess. Yeah, I mean, I think... Go ahead. You said
No,
you were
no.
perfect for it. No, Tinder is a weird... I actually, briefly, when I was single back in the day.
Right, on the off period.
On the off period. I mean, I didn't end up actually really going on any dates, but I was on Tinder for about 5 days.
Really?
And some freaky shit happens on Tinder.
Well, did you know that actually the someone? Oh, fuck! Oh shit! Sorry, didn't mean to swear. Fuck! Shit! Damn it!
What's going on?
The co-founder sued Tinder for sexual harassment.
I heard that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really know any more details.
Do you think that they
but-
were doing it through Tinder? Like he was sexually harassing her
They had to
through
be.
Tinder?
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be in the office. That would be so weird. That's so strange.
You know, normally, I don't know. You always have to wonder what the context was, but I don't know. It sounded like it might be plausible that she was... It didn't
Sexually
sound like, Yeah, it
harassed?
didn't sound that good.
That's horrible. Well, tell me about your 5-day Tinder experience. Because
Well-
I'm hoping you're not doing any of the things that my au pair was having done to her.
I can already guess what was being done to her, and no, I'm much more
She got a few penis
tasteful. Oh,
pictures.
I mean, if you're a woman, it's crazy, but yeah, I mean, I'm a guy, so it's different. We wish women would send those pictures.
You wish you got a vagina shot?
I mean, you know, but guys will just, that's what they lead with.
Right. It's
They lead
weird.
with, like, here's my dick.
But I was talking about
not my
this
penis,
with
but my
a couple of friends who use Grindr. Okay, so it's like
So they're gay.
right? So they're
Okay.
gay.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't trying to be subtle about that, but yes, they are gay. But they were just talking about how there is a difference between Tinder and Grindr. But they were saying, you know, why not just put it out there what your intentions are by either showing a penis or saying what some guys said to Carla,
Why not?
who's my
Because
au pair.
it's not very.
But you never
classy.
know who's going to respond back and say, "Yeah, bring it on." Like if that's what you really want,
But
one
tell me this,
out of
like-
10 girls respond, "Sure, bring it on." Like why wouldn't you do that?
Because she might have a disease.
No, that's
Kevin,
not
you're such a disease.
I mean, I would think that even if you're a lady who is, let's just say you were on Tinder because you just wanted to get laid and that was it, I would still think that the immediate dick shot, I just can't imagine. I feel like there's got to be a warm-up period.
I think so too. Like,
Like, at least like a two-sentence warm-up period.
yeah, so you have like 2 texts before you
Yeah.
like, whip out the penis.
You have very high standards, obviously.
Exactly. No, I agree.
gentlemen.
We've had sex
I
with
do my
Emily on
best.
this show, and she was talking to us about the importance of going slow. And I know for myself, it's very important to go slow. Same thing for Kristen. And, you know, I've interviewed thousands of women, and they've said exactly the same thing. The teasing and the mystery behind it and the slow buildup is actually what actually gets us more excited.
Yeah.
So So I wouldn't say that, like, dick shots are the best thing.
For men to know, women don't just get excited because they see a penis.
Yes.
Maybe some, like, woman who hasn't had sex in 30 years.
She's like, yeah, there's a penis.
It has to be like
But
a
in
penis
general,
like riding a horse. Or
it's not like
that came out wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But it's not like how dudes get turned on by boobs.
Right.
It's not an attractive looking thing.
No, it's like a little guy with a weird hat on.
Right, with a very weird hat. It's like almost like that, like, Chinese hat that like, they wear in the fields.
It's very odd.
Double chin.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Yeah, I don't want the one with the double chin for sure.
But I wanted to segue this talk of Tinder just to, like, give you updates on things that guys are doing to Carla, my au pair. But I want to talk to you about online dating for this week's chapter in the man's playbook.
Are you horny to win?
That music actually came right from Fits in the Tantrum. Thank you so much for supplying that.
Thank you.
You guys, I see why you're so successful.
Yeah, no, it's been on the radio a lot.
So wait, I want to hear about your experiences with online dating. Because you said on your break you were doing it.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, straight up online. Well, there's Tinder and there's I know that's the same thing, but
No, they're very
Tinder
different.
and online to me seem very different.
They are.
Yes.
Well, texting and online dating is very different.
You know,
Yeah.
Tinder's bad when online dating looks like the classy,
the classy version.
like
of it.
I know, it's
good.
true.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's true. I think different sites probably have different associations with them. And for me, Tinder is just like, let's just get to it.
Right.
At least it seems like that's what the vibe is.
Well, the whole point, it's supposed to be in real time. That's the point. You're
Right.
within, I don't know, you can like list how far you want to be around people, but you're looking for people or searching for people who are in your vicinity.
Yeah.
That's the point of
I
meeting
know,
up
it's
instantly.
It's brilliant. It's genius.
I think so, too.
My only experience on somebody, it was funny. There was a picture of somebody and she seemed kind of cool. She was a nurse and I don't know, nurse.
Fantasy?
No, but it was like a real nurse, like not a fantasy. But
Oh,
yeah,
whoa.
exactly. But yeah, exactly.
Like she was slightly frumpy, but still
she
kind
knows
of
how to
sexual
handle
looking.
pain.
Yeah, exactly.
She knows how to anesthetize. No, but we started texting, and the weird thing was, it seemed like I was genuinely like, maybe I'm just a naive guy, but I was genuinely kind of like thought, oh, this could be like romantic.
Right.
But then it was funny. She immediately, within about 10
Whipped
minutes.
out her dick.
Whipped out her dick. But she was like, hey, you know what? This might be crazy. Because we were talking about meeting for a drink. She's like, what if you just come over to my place and we just have some wine, blah, blah, blah. And within 2 seconds, like, texted me a home address. Which, normally as a guy, you'd think I scored. But
Right.
actually, I have to admit, I got a little like, wait a minute.
She's got to be an idiot.
Or a man.
That's the thing. That's something guys do. That's a guy would gladly be like, here's my home address. Come on over right now.
Right,
Because
yeah.
we're crazy and we're idiots.
Yeah.
But like women, I think are a little more discerning and should be concerned about.
Yes.
We all need to be concerned about safety.
Right. Because
Realistically.
I wouldn't want to see you get raped.
I don't want to. Hey.
Yeah.
But it was funny because after I saw it, I was like, that does sound more like a dude's behavior. And I took another look at the pictures a little more closely, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't know. To this day, it's a mystery. I never went.
Really?
I was like, I'm chickening out. I'm really
You
sorry.
need to show the pictures to a woman, and
Yeah.
it's like transgender dar. Like,
yeah.
like
Well,
dar.
did you look at her throat for the
Adam's
Adam's
apple?
apple? I guess she was always
also
like chin
She's
down.
like, oh, I just was eating a big chicken
Yeah,
wing.
exactly.
Got stuck.
I mean, her penis was very big in the pictures, so that was.
So that's all of your experience with Tinder, and then you basically focus more on actual online dating.
Well, that was Tinder was like the last time I ever did anything. But like there were a few, like I was on JDate a very long time ago. Did we talk about this last
Yes.
time?
Oh, I don't know if we talked about it last time, but I
Can
think
We've talked
non-Jews
about
go
it.
on
I think
JDate?
I was on JDate when you were on it a very long time ago,
Yeah, like we're talking like
like
the
10 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not quite the 1900s, but
not quite the 1900s
Yeah.
exactly.
but it was
Because
a
they wouldn't
long-
let
Just
Jews
as in-
online then.
Right.
exactly.
No way, Jose. That wasn't
JDate.
going to happen.
I know.
That's nuts. But yeah, they do let non-Jews onto
They do?
JDate. Yeah. Like,
If Nate and I ever break up, I'm going there.
oh, for sure. You totally should,
It's always,
especially
it's
in
funny
Hollywood.
too. It's always like I'm not Jewish. It's the lady. It's always like I'm not Jewish, but I'm looking for generous gentlemen.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh, I get it because
Generous.
we're Jewish, so we're generous, right? I mean, it's true.
That's
but
the opposite
Is
of
it
what
true?
you would think.
I'm Jewish. I don't remember
It's cheap.
generous
No,
gentlemen.
we're not cheap. Not
The
when it
cheap
comes
is the
to-
thing, though. That's like the
I
staple.
know it's a stereotype.
So why
but
would they
not
think
with-
generous?
I don't know
'Cause they're rich
I hear
Jews,
Jewish
you
guys are supposed to be
Generous?
great. I heard
You are a
I'm
Jewish
told
guy.
Jewish guys are great.
Are you great
You've yet
and
to
generous?
experience it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a Jewish guy. I'd like to think that we're great. I don't know.
Do you think that you have a different experience online dating because, you're a celebrity?
Well,
Like how I called you a celebrity?
I know. I'm far from a celebrity, but it is kind of funny because way back in the day when I was doing the online. Actually, yeah, I guess there was some stuff going on. It was weird because, like, you'd just be talking, but then they'd be like, "So what do you do?" And you're like, Well, the funny thing is,
play the
nobody on JDate, like even if I finally like started talking to somebody, as soon as you said musician, I don't know. In my head, I was thinking that they must be. It's like L.A. Jewish women. They want like the lifestyle and everything like that.
Right.
And like, I think they heard musician. They were like, this guy, he's gonna be a fucking deadbeat.
Well, yeah, it's going to be either super cool
wanted
or
to be
super
like, you
loser.
understand? Like, I'm successful, but like, you can't say that, you know?
Like, I got a gold record on my wall.
Because then you
That's
look
shit.
really douchey.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're like, baby.
There should be a level of musician. Like there should be different terms.
I'm an A-level musician.
Like musician should be for like
That's
successful
the new
people.
website, Rockstar Date.
And music players should be for like the non-successful. Like you can't put that unless
Like the waiter
you've got a
/ music
contract.
player.
Right.
Yeah, you have to
Exactly.
have a minimum. So it was kind of funny. And that same thing happened like the 2 conversations I got into on Tinder, which was, you know.
Really?
it's funny.
You're like,
They're
I'm a musician.
They were like, well,
"See
what
ya."
band are you in? I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I can't. I'm a nah. And then I
Yeah.
quit. I just got off. It
Oh,
was
so
stupid.
you quit.
Oh, hell yeah. I couldn't. I'm like, what am I doing? This is terrible.
Is that awkward for you to say? Because do you feel like you're using it
Well,
in
I mean,
some way?
first of all, we weren't. It was a little bit before this band was quite.
Right.
But I mean, like, you know.
You know what I noticed?
Yeah.
You don't finish sentences.
I know it's because I'm.
And I'm
editing.
like,
He's a keyboardist. He's not
I'm
supposed to
editing
have
everything I'm
sentences.
saying right now.
No, I'm going to be like listening to Fits in the Tantrums and the song just cuts out. I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fitting.
exactly. I'm talking to you guys, and then as I'm saying, I'm like, wait, people can hear this.
Yeah, he's like, I can't be saying these things, and my girlfriend is outside. This is all horrible.
I know. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, my girlfriend is outside.
Well, can you tell us some of the moves that you use for online dating? Because this chapter in the Man's Playbook is kind of like a shitty chapter right now. We're not really getting any information out of it. But tell us about like what worked for you in online dating.
Well, I think that you were sort of correctly said this before. I think standards are pretty low right now, and I think just not sending a dick pic
Yes.
is a plus. Like it's
Oh, for
almost
sure.
like it puts you in like rarefied air.
Oh, if you can put a sentence together and it's not like 30 million sentences,
Yeah.
which is what a lot of guys do, you
know, I
win
have-
over a lot of other guys.
My grammatical, I'm speaking badly now that I'm saying my, but I write
Poorly, I think would
grammatically
be more
correctly.
proper.
That's very.
I
Actually,
try to,
is very
you
important.
just try to have some intelligence when you're talking to people.
I've said that before. I've said that for me, if I was online dating and I got a message that had you versus you are, like yours versus you're wrong and all
Yeah.
that, I would not respond ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, it does. It shows lack of caring.
I would respond. It would just my standards would be shifted at that point. I would have to recalibrate what I was after.
for
Yeah.
sure.
You don't
that
have to
person.
write like, some like scholar, but just be able to put words together. And it's funny because not sending the dick pic is the equivalent of like opening the door for a woman.
It's Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's very.
It
It's
is.
just like very.
It is interesting. I'm going to go back to Carla going on a date last night, but me and my husband were watching out the window because we're worried about her in LA dating these guys from Tinder. And so she walked out to his car. He got out of the car, but he didn't open the door for her. And my husband goes, didn't open the car door.
Yeah.
Douche.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bad move. But she's
Bad
22. Do you think it's a bad move for a 20-ish something guy to not open the car door?
I think
Do you
it's typical.
yeah.
It's typical, but it doesn't make it a good move. I think.
No,
it's still a
but I
bad
think
move.
I think at 22, unless she does want to get married right away, it wouldn't be a super make or break moment for me. If he was 32
You know what?
and
Right.
didn't, it would
If
be.
you're the guy, and whether you're out to just get laid, whether you're out to get married, whatever you're out for, and you're already on the date, and the girl's in the car, what does it cost you to just open up the door?
I think so, too.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I
at
think
least-
it
What-
stands
there's no
out.
skin
It's
off
like
your
the
back.
no
yeah,
dick
it's no skin
pic.
off your back, and you could be earning brownies.
Yeah.
Speaking of my trip here today, gonna get a little road ragey again quickly, but I was trying to move over into a lane. Listeners know from the past that I've had
She has an
couple
issue with the road.
incidents with road rage. The problem is, and I will make this very quick, this little tangent, I am like the Santa Claus of letting people into traffic. You want to
I'm
get
like
in?
that
Here
too.
you go. Here you go. Yes, you too. Let's everybody. Yeah, let's have
But
a
then
party.
you know what? And it sucks. There's no karma because you,
Exactly.
yeah.
The minute I try to move over, the one time I'm in a tough spot, they won't let me in and then flip me off.
There's no
and then
love.
flip you off.
There's
Yeah.
no karma.
So I was in the wrong lane today because I was trying to get on the 10 freeway.
Yeah.
There was a cop who was arresting someone in
Oh, that was
the
me.
far right lane. It was
You got
you.
I was
arrested
being
today?
arrested. Yeah.
A real musician.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And so I moved over essentially like a lane over too far because cars were moving out of that lane. Anyway,
Right.
so now I'm like 3 lanes over from where I have to be. I'm trying to get back over to get on the 10. If I miss the 10 here,
Right, you're fucked.
screwed.
I'm totally screwed because then I have to go all the way down and then there's traffic, whatever. So I just literally had my blinker on desperately. I was like waving. He sped up and I sped up even faster and basically went above and around him.
Look at you.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you. And then he was like, fuck you. And I'm like, what skin is it off your back to literally just simply let me into traffic?
Right. I don't understand it either.
So anyway.
No, but this is tied into, well, maybe not online dating.
This is tied into online dating.
But it's tied into common courtesy and things that actually stand out. Letting someone in, cut in front of you.
Even if your intentions are, and we're back to online dating, even if they're less than savory, again, whatever your intentions are, just earn the brownie points.
I think so too. Right. So what's the difference then between being like a suck up and too nice for online dating and earning the brownie points? What's the difference between being a suck up and too nice versus earning the brownie points? Like what helped you stand out for online dating, getting girls to respond back to you? Because I look at a lot of profiles, and when I go to look at a guy's profile, I do this profile analysis for guys, and I'll go in and look at their emails that they're sending out. So a lot of guys... I read it, and all I hear from the messages are like me. I'm super sweet. I'm super nice. I'd be the best boyfriend.
First of all, girls do that too. Everybody puts on,
But the rule should be show, don't tell. Show that you're super sweet.
Yeah, but you
don't tell. And I know that's hard when you're trying to meet online, but there's got to be a creative way.
No, you show it, but you show it on the date. Wow,
right?
I'm whistling right now with my teeth. That's crazy.
So you don't say it so much in the email. You show it on the date.
But so then, what do you say?
Every email is. I mean, unless it's some, I don't know, bad person, whatever. Every email, whether it's a guy or girl, is totally charming.
So what was your move? I would see you being charming. So what was your opener?
I don't know what my opener was. God, let me think. I have to think back to that one. I don't know about the opener, but rarely does anybody say no to sushi. Like if you just throw sushi in there somewhere, and if they say no, then they're probably not really meant to be with you anymore.
Right, exactly. They don't want sushi. So that would be your first email to them, like, let's go for sushi.
Maybe your opening should literally just be sushi. That's it.
Yeah, but then she's going to be thinking you're talking about her vagina.
Right, exactly. Equivalent to a dick pic.
But that was in her mind.
Right, dirty woman.
Why would your mind go
No, I assume that the dude is the gross one.
Because that's where your mind is right now.
That's where dudes' minds are, and I just know I overanalyze. So
I want to give the people who are listening some actual help in this chapter. Come on,
luckily we have Miss D coming up.
I know, exactly.
Real expert.
This is a little bit of a teaser. She's going to actually give us things to do online to be successful.
Look, I mean, honestly, no joke. I mean, all you can do is try to be sincere, and that's what I would try to do. My opener was sincere. It was like, hey, I mean, it's corny. Everyone's probably writing, hey, I really liked your profile, but I did like that profile. I mean, I wasn't lying. I was being, I just was trying to be sincere. That's what I would do. Sincerity is real. And then hopefully, they'll respond to that. I mean, I have to admit, it's weird. I'm sure it's easier being a woman online. I think that if you're a woman and you're trying to date online, you probably get like 100 messages a day.
Yeah.
If you're a guy, it's not the same.
No, you probably don't get any
rarely
messages.
Get, like, you'll look at a profile and you'll look at this person and go like, oh my God, she looks beautiful, and she's funny. You could tell she's funny just from what she wrote, which who knows if she even wrote it.
Right.
And like, just, your fantasy started, you're like, but this is good. This is it. This is the one. She is so cool. You know what, man? I feel a connection. And then you write to her, and then you don't hear shit back.
Right. Yeah. But I think the way you have to look at it is like actors in LA. You go on an audition, you can't overanalyze it. You can't think about it. You go in, you do the best you can, and you never think about it again if something comes up.
Well, I like that you actually wrote to these women, because actually they did a study on OkCupid a very long time ago that I read that was talking about really attractive women. They actually don't get approached as often.
In real life, too. That's what they say.
In real life, because other people assume, oh, she's probably getting hit on by a ton of guys. I don't stand a chance. I don't measure up to what these other guys bring to the table.
True.
Like this whole thing that's in their head, but they actually do not.
But you know what's funny? I've been hearing that statistic. I've been hearing that about online. I've heard that about real life. Like, all the most beautiful women say no one ever talks to me. But a lot of times you go up to the most beautiful woman and they won't talk to you.
She won't talk to you, exactly.
So, I mean, there is some reason behind it.
Right, because they're bitchy.
Yes.
There's no reason to talk to them. That's the reason.
I will say, and I mean, this is, but when I met Teresa at the party, I didn't think she was going to talk to me, and she did.
Really? You didn't think she was going to talk to you?
And not only did we talk, but we talked about shit. It was fantastic.
I know, exactly. You must have been...
It was great. I mean, it was seriously fantastic.
All right, well, before we end, I have to know, how did the shit come up? Was someone like, I really have to take a shit? Like, how did this
where did it come
up
from?
Well, I had just shit in my pants, and I didn't know. How did it come up? The cool thing is,
what's the segue?
There's a chance she may have been the one to bring it up. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I wish I could ask her.
So were you thinking, like, if it was her bringing it up, like, this is my soulmate?
The fact, whoever brought it up, and it might have been me, it might have been her. The fact that we talked about it is literally the first thing we talked about, I think.
Yeah.
I was upset. I was like, this is my dream girl.
Yeah, well,
In
that was
college.
what Adam Galad said last week. He said to his girlfriend on a date, he had like a salt and pepper shaker, and she said, "Please," she said, "Hand me the salt and pepper shaker," and he said, "Hand me the salt and pepper shaker," and
please.
she said, "No," but
No, he said, "Hand me the salt and pepper shaker, please."
and then she said, "Motherfucker."
and then she's like, "Give me them."
Yeah, so he's like, that was my soulmate right there. So I
That's
love that
great.
poop is
Well,
your
I did
soulmate.
have something similar in college. I was dating this guy that I knew I didn't really like, but he was this kind of real, like, rough. He was kind of a redneck, actually, and not really my style. He didn't like Seinfeld, so I had to let him go. But I accidentally farted when we were hanging out, and I like ripped it like bad. I had
Like
like
it
a
was a real one, not a
lactose
little
issue in college, and he literally got down on his knees and said, "Oh my God, marry me."
No, he didn't.
I swear to God. And I was so embarrassed. My face was so red.
So you said no.
Of course, yeah.
Right. Had you not been
Because he
so
didn't like
Face.
Seinfeld. If he
Oh,
liked
right.
Seinfeld and my farts, it would have been a perfect match.
Does that even out at all? Like, he doesn't like Seinfeld, but he loves my farts.
I'm not that big of a fan of farts, but I'm not.
Right, but she's a really big fan of Seinfeld.
Yeah, doesn't outweigh.
Yeah,
my
like
love.
obviously her boyfriend doesn't talk about poop, so it's not that
Right.
big a deal to her. It's not a deal breaker.
I still can't believe
I
we
think
don't
that's
talk
very
about it.
weird.
Like my
What does he do when
family,
you
like
go to the
growing up, we
bathroom?
talked more about poop and farts than we did about politics.
us too. My son is the biggest farter in the entire world. He fits into our family
your
quite
son's
well.
2 months old.
Do you understand that he makes farts louder than me?
But
or my
he's a
husband?
baby. What else is there for him to do?
I am
I know,
so
but
glad we came full circle here with this interview.
The sound of his farts are massive. It's crazy. Anyway,
We have Miss
Ass
D,
Women.
Ass Women
Ass
coming
Women.
on the show. Miss D is going to be answering your real questions about online dating.
and we will
As we
complete
did-
this chapter, so
Yes.
it's not over yet.
To
but-
be continued.
Yes, exactly. And we'll be back with overanalyze this, even though before we had analyzed this with
it's
Adam
all
Galad, because he was really quick with his
Well,
answers.
yeah, no, but I can tell Jeremy's not going to be that fast.
I know, it's going to be very slow.
No
And
offense.
Only half answers. Wonderful. We'll be back after this.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Brody Jenner.
I am Dr. Mike Dow.
We are inviting you guys to come check us out. It's the Brody Jenner Podcast with Dr. Mike Dow.
It is a fresh take on life's biggest dilemma, love.
You got Dr. Mike Dow, who's a couples therapist. You got me. I'm not the best, but I do a pretty good job. We'll have a different celebrity guest each week joining the conversation with us.
We are serving nothing but love and relationships on the Brody Jenner Podcast.
Go download it every Thursday at podcastone.com. That is podcastone.com.
You're listening to the Ask Women Podcast, a Podcast One presentation.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. We're here with Damona Hoffman, host of Dates and Mates. You can listen on I keep saying that, UBN Radio, or you can go to datesandmates.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you. We were talking a lot about crude things at the beginning like pooping. So we are going to segue into something much more sophisticated, which is
Very
online
fancy
dating.
second half of the
Yes,
show.
comparatively to the first.
We're going to talk about farting now.
We're working our way up.
Yeah. No, we were talking about online dating, and Jeremy only half told us a lot of stories about online dating. And I said, well, don't worry. We have an expert coming onto the show for the second half, so guys will actually get real actionable advice. But I want to hear about, your world in online dating and why you are the expert in this space.
Yes, I have my own stories.
Yes, exactly. That she can
And they have
complete.
endings.
And they have
to
endings,
them.
yeah.
But I actually...
Shame on you, Jeremy.
I am not only the president, I'm also a member. So
I love it.
I met my husband online way before it was cool, when it was like only nerds
Like
and shady people in their basement. No, it wasn't that shady. Actually, I found that there were a lot of great guys out there.
I bet you there were more great guys on there before, and now there's a lot more weirdos.
Now it's all douchebags.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. There are great
Why,
guys.
I'm like, yes.
Yes, there are. But it's dating.
Yeah.
It's just a slice of the whole
Yeah. Oh, I'm kidding.
population. So, but there are more people now. So I do feel like you have to sort a little bit. to
Yeah,
find
it's
good
like
stuff.
shopping at Forever 21.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of crap, but you
There's
really
good
got to
stuff
take your
there.
time. You got to mentally prepare. You're going in, got to go by yourself.
Exactly.
And just search.
Exactly.
And take your time. And then you find good tops eventually.
Yes, after
Anyway,
you
I've been
pass
shopping a
out.
lot.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, you have to sort through and find the good
But
stuff.
how do
so I found the good stuff.
How do you search as a woman and sort? Because there's a lot of guys who are listening to the show saying, I am a good one. I'm a great t-shirt. You should be finding me. But they keep getting like lost in all the clutter of all these other crappy t-shirts that
They're in
like
the sale
break.
section.
They're-
Or a woman has like hidden it behind the
Right,
other items
exactly.
in case she wants to come back and get it.
Exactly.
So
I don't know if I can help with that, with the hiding the items, but you actually kind of answered your own question in the you almost have to market yourself, like you were talking about shopping, and it's sort of the same thing with online dating.
Like half
they're
off.
getting lost because they're not standing out amongst all the other goods that are there. So, it sounds kind of unsexy to say, think of yourself like a product, but
No, it doesn't
hey, I
at
wrote a
all.
book on it, and it totally works. It worked for me. It worked for so many of my clients.
Yeah.
If you think of yourself from the point of view of your potential date, the one, buying the
Right.
product.
I love that we're living in this metaphor.
Yeah, it
For so long.
changes your perspective of it. So most people come to online dating and they think, I'm great, I'm wonderful, people should flock to me. I'm just going to put up a picture and I'll throw up a profile,
Right.
and the emails will come flooding in because I've stooped to this low level of online dating.
Right.
And the reality is now it's not for weirdos and freaks anymore. It is for everybody.
It's an,
and
it's an
everybody's there.
amazing space for meeting people if you use it
which means
correctly.
a lot of people are there, and
Yeah.
you have to really stand out, and you have to have photos that catch the eye of someone that's doing a search, because it's just like with the shopping, like there's so much there, people get overwhelmed.
Right.
And so many people have come to me saying, I tried online dating and it didn't work, and then I ask them how long they've been doing it, and they say,
2 weeks.
yeah, I did that free trial thing. The
I
trial
never wrote
weekend,
to
it didn't-
anybody.
Yeah, and nothing happened. So you really have to be proactive, and you have to really be specific. It's better to be specific and known for one thing, or stand out for one thing, for being quirky and having tattoos, or being...
Yeah, you need like a shtick.
You need a shtick.
For
so,
sure.
And not... Too many people are afraid of being who they are. They try to be all things to all people online. I'll put up a nice,
Right.
pretty photo, and I won't offend anybody.
Right.
And then you just get lost.
Well, I noticed that in the profiles that I review for guys. I'm in no way near like the expert level that you are, but guys like have me review their profile and just say, how would a girl see this? And I always look, I write back and I say, it's just too generic. It just sounds like it's trying to please everybody. I don't know anything about you at the end of the day, because it sounds like everyone else. I like long walks on the beach. I like dinners. Well,
Dogs.
it's like, yeah, exactly.
And then you find out they
Does
don't
anyone
actually
like
they don't
those
like any
things.
of those
Does anyone like to
things.
short walk on the beach? Like, I don't want to walk like 3 miles. But I'd like to be on the
I'm
beach
not
for
a fan of the beach myself.
Short sprints.
But you would be better off saying, I hate the beach. Like, you don't
Right.
want to be
But that
negative,
stands out.
but at least it would be different from whatever everyone else is
Or
saying.
short walk.
Exactly.
All my advice is do short walk on the beach. It'd be different.
I think it's good. I think people are going to be doing that after this. We're going to hear about this one.
And then also to show that in your photos. If you really
Doing
do
a short
like,
walk, like
Sure.
starting point and ending point.
But showing your life, and I have the 3 C's of online dating photos. So it's having context to your photos, not just here's a pretty picture of me that my best friend took when we were out. It's this is what I enjoy doing. I like short walks on the beach. Here I am on the beach,
just
walking.
laying like dead asleep on the beach.
So wait, actually, tell us more about the context. Like, so how do you show that in a picture if you're a guy, and how do you show that as a woman? Because I want to hear, because there's different ways of presenting yourself for the sexes, correct?
There are, but in the context, it's really just what you enjoy, what you're about. Because for men, they don't like reading a lot of stuff, right? They just want to cut down.
Jeremy likes to read.
I like to read.
But first,
Not for a profile,
primarily
like, is she
men
hot?
are visual, right?
Especially when you have
visual.
so many profiles to look at.
Yeah, so if you see in the photo, she looks like she enjoys the same things that I do, then you're going to click forward and read more.
Right.
And the second C is character. So showing that personality, a lot of times people are afraid to show that they have a nerdy side or a goofy side. And those are the photos that also make you say, that girl
I
would
would
be
click with that
interesting.
person.
You have to have the hot photos too.
Yeah, of course.
But,
Like the boob shots and the penis shots, right?
But for women, you have to back that up with more in the profile. They're looking for they want to read. They're looking for the substance there, and then color. That's the third C. So everyone has they're wearing the blacks and the blues, and everything is blending in. And when you've done a search on a online dating site, you see you're wearing the red.
Yeah.
Red is a key color that
That's
attracts
why you look so
the eye.
good today. Color.
Yeah.
It works for you, obviously. That's
Hey, his
interesting.
girlfriend's
So the
in the
3
room
Cs.
here.
I'm sorry, I'm hitting on your man. I didn't mean to. But that's really interesting. The 3 C's. So I love that, because we were, again, knocking Jeremy because he wasn't really giving us any actionable advice. That is very actionable advice that people can use right now.
Color, context, character.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the experience as a woman online? Because you had that experience. So a lot of the people who listen to our podcast are men. Lots of amazing women listen as well. But I want to hear from your point of view, like what men are up against. Because as you were saying, a lot of men don't get written to or approached. Or maybe you were saying it, approached online. But a lot of women do get flooded with email. So how do guys stick out amongst the crowd? Well, other than being, authentic in the 3 C's, but
I would actually. I want to talk about the process of online dating, because you can have a great profile, but if you are not going about it in the right way, your inbox is not just going to fill up. You actually have to do something about it.
Right.
And so for men, it's a given. You have to send emails. Right. I'm trying to encourage women to be proactive, and sometimes they fight me on it, but that's really the key to standing out for women too. But for men, you have to understand that most women's inboxes are totally full.
It's spam, essentially.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with online dating. A lot of guys think because the hot girl is there, that means that, like, he's going to get her. She's online, and so, like, I've got a shot with this one. And just because she's online, first of all, it doesn't mean that her profile's real. Let's be honest. And it doesn't mean that you're the person that she wants to date.
Right.
So you have to still be realistic. It doesn't mean don't send that email. But
this
if you
goes
send
against
that
our
email,
previous conversation, which was
a little bit, which is interesting, that hot girls do not get approached online.
Right.
According to OkCupid, that was what was shown.
Yeah.
Screw OkCupid. Is that what you're saying?
No, they absolutely do get approached. Okay. The hottest women get like 10 times the number of messages that.
Okay.
But the key is, and there was actually an OkCupid, OK Trends about this a couple years ago, that the people that are more specific, and if they are more unattractive,
tattoos.
if they're considered to be unattractive by a number of people, they're also considered, but they're considered more attractive by some people. They're more likely to be written to by the people that find them attractive.
Right.
So it kind of goes to what I was originally saying. It's better to be more specific and not worry about turning off the people that look at that tattoo and are like, ugh.
Right, because it wouldn't work anyway.
Right, exactly, because they'll just do that on the date.
Right.
I never told my husband I had tattoos. I wasn't hiding it, but I just wasn't advertising it.
Right.
But anyhow, it worked out okay. He hates tattoos.
Where are your tattoos?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that.
Oh, fun stuff.
So you hid them for long enough until you guys actually
yes
had a moment.
Oh, I didn't know he hated them. It was just like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. He's like, too bad, I'm already in. Literally.
But sending that email for men is, you have to be really specific. Again, you really want to cut through. Humor works really well for women. They really are attracted to humor and intelligence. So you got to have that witty line, including a subject line too.
Is that how your husband and you found each other?
Yes.
Did he have a good opening line? Was he
did.
Funny?
And he's a writer, and it turns out he spent like 2 days writing his first.
Really?
Oh, I love that.
He wrote
not
it.
a very good writer.
No, he's very methodical.
Good
and
writing
well
is not written; it's rewritten, Marnie.
There you go. That's true.
So yes, it was catchy enough to get me to open it. And
do you remember what it was?
It was in response to something I had said in my profile about being
that.
I'm petite, and I said something about being small and I could like fit in your carry-on or something like that.
Yeah.
He was like, "Ooh,
that sounds kinky, girl." So he responded to that. So it showed that he had actually read my profile, which a lot of people don't. A lot of men just send form letters, and it doesn't work. I've had fights with male clients about this.
You fight a lot with your clients.
Well, you got to rough them up a little bit. But a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, so they go back to their friends who keep telling them the same thing. If you really want to change, you have to go about it differently.
Right.
So I've had men that came to me saying that they've been sending message after message and they never get returned. So what's the point in actually sending a real message as opposed to a form letter? Because if it's not going to get returned, then it's a waste of their time.
It's the same applying for jobs. If you send the same generic thing they've seen a million times, you're not going to get the job.
Yeah, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, you wrote this form letter and you get no responses. So
like, oh, of course, it doesn't work. There you go. I win. Right.
So something short and sweet. It could just be I like the formula of of responding to something in their profile, making a comment, and following it up with a question, and something that can't be a yes or no response. So I hear that you went to Italian cooking school. What's your favorite dish to cook? They can't say
yes.
I
like food.
I like food. Yeah.
Right. It's an open-ended question. Okay, so it's the same thing in real life.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the same way of having, I know, it's so strange.
Online dating, it's the same as real life.
It really is, though, isn't it? I mean, it actually is just another form of real life. Yeah, it's online, but it's still people interacting the way we always have.
Exactly. And
it's
they still
crazy
respond
how
to the same thing.
We overcomplicate everything.
Right.
Yeah. Although it's happening on hyperspeed now with
Tinder.
Well, definitely with Tinder, but just with social media and texting, people are expecting a more immediate response. So it used to be with online dating, you could get away with the 3-day rule or whatever.
Right.
Now, if you don't respond within 24 hours, forget it.
Right. So maybe the time frame has changed, but I think that the essence and what lies behind everything is the same.
Exactly.
I think so too. What do you think about Tinder and all these other social applications that are being used for dating?
I think if you're single and you don't want to be single, you should be doing everything you can to not be single.
Right.
And so why not try something like Tinder? There's different reports on how many relationships are made from Tinder. At first, I was very wary of it, but I've had clients that
people love it.
Yeah, have met people, and it also can be. You use the right medium for the right time. So if you are in a place where maybe you're out of a breakup or you don't have a lot of experience dating and you just want to get out there, Tinder is a great way to move into fast communication.
The great thing of Tinder,
2 a.m., it's perfect.
Right, exactly.
And after 2 a.m., super fast.
Yeah, the great thing about Tinder not creating too many sustainable relationships is that they won't have to explain that to their kids. Because I feel bad for the first child that actually gets the Tinder story of how their parents met.
I know.
Really?
But they're actually saying they have a lot of relationships. So it's still so new.
Yeah.
I don't want to report any numbers, but
I would see that.
I was swiping through my phone, and I came
across your father, and it was fantastic.
And I swiped right.
My parents met in a bowling alley, and that's class. Okay.
My parents met when my mom was on a date with another man,
No.
and then my dad swooped in and asked her to dance.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's bold.
Help me, eyes.
Very bold.
Guys aren't bold
Last
like
bold
that
move
anymore.
he ever did, but totally bold.
They're not
Crazy.
bold like that anymore.
I want to ask one more question before we get to overanalyze this. You talked about other social applications. Can you tell us a few of the top resources that people can use in online dating or in Tinder or things that are similar to that?
Yeah.
Resources?
Still, you go where the
herds are.
Yeah, you go where the herd is. So the biggest sites are still the biggest sites and still continue to get bigger, like Match.com, and now OkCupid. If you like using a free site, Plenty of Fish. Not as relationship minded, but I usually recommend when someone is starting with online dating, you do a paid site and a free site, or you do one primary and one secondary, because it's like being in 2 bars at the same time. Right. So if you just go to one bar, your wife could be across the street. I would
get me home.
But it is more work to keep up with that. But there's so many different.
Hopefully, it's more work to keep up with that. That's the whole point.
Yes, but some people don't like
more
work.
lines. Like if you're fishing, you're casting
you still have to keep on top of. Well, that was a bad metaphor, but you can't be.
You don't want to get on the bottom of it. I'm trying to continue on that.
I know. Every time I was trying to think of something else to say, I'm like, no, that's another sexual. But you have to be proactive and write people on both sites and write back to them.
Right.
So you don't want to be on so many sites. I've had clients that say, well, I want to be on 3 sites and this app, and then they lose track of it, and they
so you don't advise that.
Does online dating, I've never done it. To me, it sounds very heavy and kind of like a responsibility and a job. Is there a way to keep it fun? So it doesn't feel so
fun. How is it not fun going to one space where everybody's single?
Because it's like being on Craigslist and searching for a job, and you're submitting, and you never hear back. How do you?
Well,
keep
if
it,
you look at it like that, it does sound like
I look at everything negatively. So I should just.
But a lot of people feel the same way. So even though I'm kind of in the camp with Marni, I think it's just you look at it like you're learning somebody else's story.
Yeah.
And if you go into each date thinking I have to find the one,
right,
and you're disappointed if you get there and find that they're not, then it is going to feel really exhausting. But if you go in there just saying I'm going to have fun, I'm taking care of myself and I'm having fun, and that's the whole goal of this. And if this person ends up being interesting enough to spend a second date with, great. If not, okay, we'll move on to the next one. But so many people put too much pressure on that first date and that outcome that they end up ruining it for themselves, and they're not in the moment.
Well, even Jeremy was saying before, like even prior to the first date, it's even before they write the email where they look at this girl and say, oh my God, she's witty, she's awesome, she's exactly what I want. This is the one.
You think it's great, and then you don't hear shit back.
Right. But even just having that attitude, what you were just saying, this person is perfect, I'm sure that comes across in the email that you are sending to this other person, and they're receiving that information from you of needy and eager. Yeah.
I say it's like coins in the fountain. So when you're making a wish, you toss a penny in the fountain. If it comes true, wonderful, your wish came true.
Right,
if not,
toss a penny.
It's just a penny. What, are you going to cry about a penny? Come on.
One more question before we get to analyze this. What do you think about like specific online dating sites? Maybe not specific, but targeted, like JDate or Christian Singles or transvestites.com. Like, what do you think about those dating sites?
Which is usually where all the Christian mingle people are.
Right. I'm just kidding.
I think as long as there's critical mass, any site is great. But it shouldn't probably be the only thing that you're doing. I write for JDate. I do have clients that are really focused on meeting someone Jewish, and that's great. You're going to have a easier time of meeting someone that meets that criteria if you're on JDate, but you have to keep in mind that the pool is going to be smaller, that the general pool is going to be smaller than on Match.com, but then you don't have to sort through for that.
Right. If there's specific things that you really value that are really values for you, and that happens to be in a dating site, then I guess you're cutting out what doesn't fit into your values and going with that smaller pool. So it could be beneficial.
Right. But I would not take any one site and have that just be your whole strategy. You have to have a plan for dating.
No,
and
I
it
like
has to include multiple outlets.
And that's something you help with your clients, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And people ask me all the time, well, what's the best dating site? And I work with a number of different sites. It's really personal. It's like finding it's almost like a matchmaking experience where you find the right site that works for you. And also, different sites work at different times. The pool changes, and it depends on how much time you have to search. If you are a workaholic and you don't like doing the search and it's overwhelming to you, then go to a site like eHarmony where they send you the matches and you don't have to do that legwork.
Yeah, I love that. All right, well, now we're going to get into Overanalyze This, which is a segment of ours where people write in questions and then we overanalyze the answers. It used to be called Analyze This, but we take too frequent long.
You took it to the next level.
Exactly.
That's true.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. I just want to start off by saying this show is amazing and I appreciate all the information that you guys provide. I was in a 6+ year relationship and engaged. It ended because feelings changed, not mine. There wasn't a case of cheating or fighting. It just is what it is. We have still remained friends. Fast forward about 6 months, it took its toll on me, and I knew that I needed to get myself straight before I could jump into something with someone new. I began going back to the gym. Each day I noticed...
he was gay?
Yes. Oh, you've read this one before.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm just joking. No. Okay.
Really? Oh my God.
No. I began going back to the gym. Each day I noticed this beautiful woman there. We said hello, usually in passing. I kept trying to work up the balls to talk to her, and then one day she was gone. My chance had passed. I was kicking myself for weeks after that. So then a year passed again. A few months ago, a group of people at work were promoted internally and now work in my area. Imagine my surprise when I am assisting a friend with a project and look up to find that this woman is now sitting 2 desks away from me. I don't want to drop the ball a second time. I've been out of the single life so long that I don't even know where to start. I find that I am at a loss for words when I try to talk to her. Please help. Thanks for all that you do and keep the great work. Hope to hear back from you. Josh, I'm not going to say his last name, but he is from Vermont.
Oh, I know that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Virginia.
Oh, shit. She's
Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
It's fine. She doesn't know the
It's Virginia. I'm an idiot. All right, people. Let's continue talking about Josh.
So she sits 2 desks away from him?
Yeah, so he's got another opportunity. I think that's like...
a way better opportunity than the gym, I would think. I agree. I'm wrong, but every girl I've ever spoken to, they hate being hit on at the gym, right? Is that just
I've said that before.
Although you're not going to look any worse than you do at the gym, unless, of course, you're in Hollywood.
Right. Well, I've said in the past, I wouldn't want to be hit on at the gym because I don't get prepared physically when I go to the gym. I don't really get all done up, but I feel very self-conscious of the way I look, so I get very uptight. Like, I don't want them to approach me because I'm not comfortable with my me in my own skin at that moment.
I don't think anybody is.
Right. And so it's like, for me, I've always been like, don't talk to me now because I don't feel comfortable with myself. And now I'm going to project it on you and act really weird and awkward and tighten up.
But that's you explaining your response. It's not actually saying you don't want to be approached. You're just uncomfortable with yourself when being approached.
Therefore, I wouldn't want to be approached.
It's ironic.
But if a really handsome guy approached you
but yeah, same with you.
Well, I'm just saying guys are just the opposite. Like, I mean,
I'm sweating.
Whether we were at a gym or actually, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be the gym anywhere. It's just opposite. Guys wish they would be approached more, and ladies are like, guys are always talking to me, and I'm
with you on that. I'm with you on that. I think women are not proactive enough.
I think so too. Well, you were saying you were yelling at your clients before to be more proactive online, which I think is very interesting.
I was being very proactive about being proactive. Yeah. I think the rules have changed, and with social media and with online dating, it's leveled the playing field. And I think women do need to take control of their 100%. Own dating destiny.
But this situation is unique because either you approached at the gym or you approach at your job, which
I think is worse. I say no. I say no way.
You say don't approach at all?
At the job?
At the job, I think it's too awkward.
I say build rapport with this person
you don't have
who's
to
now sitting 2 seats down for you.
Ask her out at her desk or anything, but I mean, you could at least...
talk to her.
Say something.
So she works now in the same office,
simple,
right?
Didn't you used to work out at the same?
Yeah, you work out at my gym. There's a huge commonality right there.
Yeah.
All he knows is from what he's seen of her, like we were talking about before, projecting this huge outcome on this woman, thinking, years passed and this is definitely my soulmate. I'm seeing her at the office. No, she's a girl who you saw at the gym who happens to be working in your office. It's a great place to start a conversation.
Yes, it's a good chance she's not your soulmate. Just
I don't know.
Enjoy it and see if you can talk to her about it.
Absolutely. I have this one. Okay, so I have an email coaching program for my website, winggirlmethod.com, which you should sign up for. But there's this one guy who wrote to me about this girl, and he's telling me all about her and her personality. And then I wrote back and I said, have you actually talked to this girl? And he goes, no, I've never talked to her before. Yeah. And I was like, I see her. He said, I see her at the office, but I'm thinking of reaching out to her on Facebook. And I was like, no. I'm like, I find that super creepy. When I walk by somebody, they stare at me, they don't say anything, and then they write me a whole long, beautiful email.
It's creepy.
Online. It's really super creepy.
I see why people want to do that, but I agree.
Because it's easier.
It's easier to do. I get that, but
it's not the right.
No, it freaks me out. I'm like, what's wrong with you that you can't talk to me in person? So you start building rapport with this person in real life. See if that is her personality based on what you have as an experience with her, not what other people are telling you about her, and then see if there's something there. So I recommend the same thing to Josh. I'm not saying like, okay, yes or no to office relationships. I'm saying find out if you actually like this girl and she's interesting, rather than just being a sweaty girl from the gym.
Find out if she's single. You can talk to other people, see what they think about her.
Right, exactly. If anything, she can become your wing girl and she can pick up other girls for you or introduce you to other girls. It could be a great resource for you. So Josh, I would say, start not a friendship with this girl, but at least start having a conversation with her. Yeah, for sure. Start about like marriage or a breakup at the office. Anyway, I got passionate about that one. Hey, ladies and guests. I work at a small hospital, so anything and everything is heard. And, this is talking about coworkers probably. Anyways, I have a coworker that I know she's interested, but as soon as I start showing some interest, she backs up. If I don't talk to her for a while, she'll initiate some form of contact, like texts or calls me for something. We've gone out to lunch here and there. I've been working with her for 2 years. We hardly work together, but the same department. We talk on and off at work. At work and off work. When we're together, it is fun, conversation smooth, she laughs, and everything's great. Don't get me wrong, I also talk to other girls too. So is she playing hard to get? Does she just like the chase?
Don't get me wrong, I am the ladies'
man. I'm extremely attractive.
Exactly.
I'm not going to have my feelings hurt here.
Yeah. Let me know what you think of this. Listening for a good while now and love your podcast. Great. I listen to you when I drive, and it's awesome. Great laughs too. Thank you guys. JJ,
he's going to laugh so hard he's going to get in a car accident. That's how funny we are.
Exactly. From Canada, my country.
Wait, what's the question though? The
question is, what do you think? Does she like the chase? Is she playing hard to get? What's going on here with this girl? It sounds like a friendship to me.
Well, wait. He said that she's receptive. She laughs. They get along. It's great. And then if he
but they don't make out. It's not like they're going on dates.
Well, has he tried?
Exactly. That's my point. Have you tried?
Have they even hung out one-on-one? They sounds like they probably have, but I don't know.
Sounds like he's hanging out one-on-one, but it sounds like she thinks there's a friendship going on. Because he says, I have a coworker, I know she's interested. I would love to know how you know this.
How do you know that?
How do you know this?
And he said when he stops or if he pulls away at all that she starts initiating contact again, right?
Right. Which could be a friendship.
Hey, you know what? Maybe it is a friendship. But
maybe she's a needy girl who wants attention, so when she's not getting it, then she reaches out. When she gets it, she's going to stop.
Right.
There's
so
only
then
one
what
way
should
to
he do?
find out.
And what's the one way?
He just has to try to kiss her.
Right, exactly. He's got to put it out there.
And if she's like, does the whole pull away, like, oh, I'm sorry,
we're friends.
Yeah, then okay, cool. Then they are friends and it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can always, an awkward moment like that, you can always laugh it off and end up being friends still.
And just start talking about poop.
Yeah, start talking about poop.
Like you guys.
I don't know. It could be also the workplace situation. Because sometimes people are a little hesitant to move forward. There might be a policy or something.
Right. But I think there actually could be a policy. That is true.
But hospitals are crazy places.
I know, like Grey's Anatomy. It's all true.
I used to hear the stories.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
of
it's
like
crazy.
Sex in the Closet.
Did you just say you were a doctor?
My dad. Yeah, I was a doctor.
You are well-rounded.
Or he
He's
was
retired
a musician. Wait, what did we say the musicians were?
Just musicians. Not successful people were music players.
Music player. Before he was a music player, he was a doctor.
A music player.
I love it. But yeah, so I want you to continue.
But I think it's important, like you said, not to write the love story before you get there. And just saying, I know she's interested. How do you know if you have, if you just wrote this whole other email about why you're confused, how do you know that she's interested?
Right. If
Sounds
you know
like
she's
he's trying to convince
she's
himself.
like pulling you into a closet and kissing you.
Invite her to watch Grey's Anatomy at your place and see what happens.
Right. Exactly. No, but
something that's clearly not a work-related activity.
Right. And the truth is that she actually may be interested, but you're not really doing anything. You're not taking action.
I just feel like we need more information. Can we call this guy?
Yes, right now. Okay. No, he's in Canada. I'm not paying for long-distance charges. You crazy?
Sorry, I have an international plan.
All right. Hey, Marni and crew. Ooh, I get a call out. I've been an enthusiastic listener of your podcast for a while now, and I've really enjoyed not only the sound advice you give on dating, but also the great guests you guys have on the show. I think the advice you give is a step above many of the other self-improvement dating podcasts I've listened to.
Not mine,
but not the one the guests host.
Right, exactly.
Not Dates and Mates.
See, you got to listen to that one too. It's a fantastic show that I was on as well. Is that going to get you really upset to hear that he considers this a self-help podcast?
Well, I
very
need
depressing
no, I don't
for Kristen. I'm a 26-year-old guy living in Seattle. Me and my girlfriend of 3 years recently broke up, and she moved out of the apartment we shared together. After she left, I gave myself a couple of months to decompress and then decided to jump back into the dating scene again. So I gathered the most flattering photos I could find of myself and set up a dating profile. Okay, so he's talking about, going back online. He actually sent me his link to his profile, but because I don't have his username and password, I can't actually see it.
Technical difficulties.
Exactly.
Which site is it on?
Now I just scanned through all these. OkCupid, Tinder, and Match 3, which is a no-go for what you said. He's going on 3
Well,
things.
if he can manage 3, it's okay.
Okay. Just like how someone with a traumatic brain injury has to relearn how to tie their shoelaces, I had to relearn how to talk to women after being in a relationship for so long, which I think is
I love
amazing.
that he compares it to a traumatic brain injury.
Exactly. The reason I decided to go with online dating is because my work keeps me very busy and also requires me to travel a lot.
Then he shouldn't be on 3 sites.
Exactly, if he's very busy.
Busy and traveling.
I've invested lots of time and effort, not to mention money, into dating sites, and I still haven't seen much results based on the effort I've put in so far. I actively write to women who catch my interest and respond to most of the emails I get in return, but I've only received a few replies from all the emails I've sent, some of which end up being very brief, one-word responses. I've set up a couple of casual dates with girls I've met online, only to be stood up at the last minute. The only time it almost worked out, I found out my potential date was actually a drag queen, and I canceled our meetup immediately. Is this from you? Did you write this?
It was actually me. I wrote this. Yes.
Seriously, it's from Jeremy. That's so weird. Okay, so he did send in his profile, and a picture is part of it, which I think he's very cute.
He looks like a very cute, nice guy.
Yeah, he's very cute.
He looks like Irish or something.
He reminds me of this guy. Remember, Double Dare, that show?
Yeah, Double Dare.
He looks like the host.
Mark Summers.
Mark Summers,
right?
Yeah.
Mark Summers.
I thought was so
Don't
hot
compare
when I
him
was
to Mark
younger.
Summers. You thought Mark Summers was attractive?
I did. Well, I was 7.
We apologize, sir, for
No,
writing it. You do not look
Oh,
like Mark
sorry.
Summers.
Well, anyway, I thought he did, and I thought he used to be very, very cute. So he wants to know, I'm appealing to the dating experts at the Ask Women podcast to take a look at my profile, which we can't, and give him a breakdown. But I will tell you, he has the first little bit of it that I can read. I wish we could actually see Andrew's. Okay, so it's about.
You
Andrew.
could click the link. He provided the link.
Can't get in because I don't have his username and password. Or I'm not. Are you?
You're not a member.
A member of Match.com. You can see it. Okay,
I have my ways.
So he said 2 German cars are having a conversation. The first one asks the other, "What does your belly button look like?" The other car replies, "Mine's an Audi."
Oh, that's cute.
Born and raised in Seattle, I know this city like the back of my hand. If there's anywhere you're looking for, I will, and that's all that we have.
Well, he's opening up with the dad joke, which
Yeah.
someone like me, I find somewhat charming, cute. I grew up with like those kind of jokes in my family, but I don't think that's the best thing to start with, especially German cars, because like I just equate like the Holocaust instantly.
I mean, if it was Toyotas, maybe.
Right, like
I got in a lot of trouble. I bought an Audi. I got in a lot of trouble with my dad.
Are you half Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, first of all, you have to understand on Match.com, here's a little secret. When you send an email, the first thing that comes up is your subject line of your email, but then also the first couple lines of your profile come up. So women might be seeing that and reading that joke and not even getting to the end of it.
And just seeing two German cars and
plus he has
what?
3 emoticons in there.
Yeah.
After the joke.
Emoticons are very controversial.
Oh, he's 26?
26, yes. Andrew 26.
I would definitely, remove the emoticons because you're laughing at your own joke because they're like, I'm laughing so hard, I'm crying emoticons. And it's not
They
that
can't
funny.
tell it's a joke, then
Right,
forget it.
right.
But
So
wait
you
a
don't think
minute.
you should
Doesn't
do
this
this?
go to what you said about being your unique self? I mean,
Yes,
I
but
personally, I have sympathy. I don't
kinda
want to say
like
sympathy.
it.
I relate to the guy because I tell really bad dad
no,
jokes.
I do too. But I'm
It's
just
the
saying,
placement,
But
though.
somebody
He's leading
out
with
there
that.
loves dad jokes.
Yes, but he's leading with that. So,
shouldn't
and
lead
that's
with
his first introduction.
I think
so.
you could find something a little bit more charming with a little more sophistication to it than emoticons and a really cheesy joke to still be himself.
Right.
Yeah, but the emoticons, that's not himself.
Yeah.
That's just what he thinks that he should be there.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
If I saw emoticons in the beginning of a dating profile, I would not. If we're texting and we're having like a fun banter, and he sends me like a picture of like a needle with like
needle?
I'm like, oh, that's funny because he's saying like, you know,
You're a
the
heroin addict? What is it? I don't understand. Where are
Well,
you
it's
going
just
with
funny.
this?
It's sarcastic, but like having a smiley face with the tears coming down, saying that you're like laughing so hard, it's just a little too like too obvious or something.
Yeah,
I don't want to
it's
know
a-
that you think you're so funny.
Yeah, I'm
I
with
mean,
you on
with
that.
3 emoticons,
Like tell a dad
too.
joke, tell a really bad dad joke, but then put a gun next to it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
And then also, you've got to manage your expectations because sometimes people go online expecting that they're going to be going on dates every day.
Right.
And, you know, most of my clients do go on dates at least once a week, if
Yeah.
not 2 or 3 times. But they've been doing it for a while and they've been practicing it. And,
And
if
he's
he's been out of a
he's a
relationship,
guy.
he has these expectations that all of these dates are going to turn into something. And that's not really.
I'd
all
like
that
to see his
realistic.
emails that he's sending to girls because I thought he
Yes.
was actually
Yeah, we
cute.
need more information.
I definitely think he's cute. I thought the joke was charming, just in the way that he presented it. It wasn't.
Right. So that could be altered, maybe not 3 emoticons, but I actually like the joke, to be
Yeah,
honest.
maybe one
And
emoticon.
send a lot of messages. Like
Yeah.
you can't say, "Oh, I sent 10 messages and
I got nothing back."
Nobody wrote back. Most people will send a couple messages a week, but the average response rate is somewhere around, for men, it's somewhere around 20%.